Good morning, everyone. It's Tracy Prachi here with the RCAW, and we're here for our Lunch and Learn today. And we have Jarrod from Eagleview here, and he's going to talk to us about ordering reports that are of multiple buildings at one time on one property. So I am going to hand this over to Jarrod right away so he can get going. This is a really interesting subject for me. I've always wondered how this was done. So thank you, Jarrod, and I'm going to hand this over to you.
Thank you, Tracy, and hello, everyone. Jarrod Gaiser here, Regional Sales Manager for Eagleview in the Pacific Northwest and Western Canada. Also, a board member for your RCAW and Chairman of Membership this year. Appreciate all your support and attending our webinar today. So I'm going to go over today what's called the MSO tool with Eagleview, or otherwise known as the Multistructure Ordering tool. It is incredibly easy to use, and it's been around for a couple of years now, but it's unless we really tell you about it, you don't really know. So pretty timely webinar we're going to do today. There's a lot of, as many of you know, they're working on multifamily projects and schools and things like that. It seems like everyone held funding back last year with a lot of the unknown of what was going to happen, and now, you know, all these boards and all these school districts and different, you know, condo boards are all trying to get their projects done that they held off on. So pretty timely. So as you can see my screen here, I'm logged into my Eagleview account. So once you're logged in, we're just going to go over here to the top right, click order. And by all means, if anyone has any questions, please utilize the chat feature, and Tracy will be able to stop me, and we'll go through the question as they come in. So as I'm logged in here to Eagleview, it's going to ask me for an address. So I'm just going to grab a random address here, something I've ordered before. This is our old our office here. And I'm going to search. And for demonstration purposes, this is like a skyline tower in Bellevue. We're just going to pretend that this is this fell on this complex here. So once you've searched your address, likely the leasing office if it's an apartment complex, and the pin's dropped, you know, you want to zoom in a little bit. You know, take a look at the property, make sure you get your pin on one of the buildings. Then you're going to come over here in the upper right-hand corner where it says this is a complex. You're going to check that box, and a couple things are going to happen. So once you've checked that box, it's going to slide your property type to commercial. A little bit confusing here, so listen closely. So we have residential, commercial, and multifamily as your product types here, or property types. Anything that is if it's a single family or a duplex, that's residential. Anything that is not a single family or a duplex would be classified with Eagleview as a commercial building, whether it's a low slope roof or a steep slope roof, a church, a gas station, a school, we're going to call that commercial. There is a multifamily feature here. This is only, if you were to select this, this is only going to give you or provide you with it's a multi-family version of our Quick Square product. This is a great product. It's a $36 flat rate per building. It's only going to give you the total squares in predominant pitch. Depending on the property you're bidding on and the type of property it is, if you're presenting to a board or not, you know, that may or not be the right product for you. Many of these boards need line item, you know, types of estimates, as you may know. So we're going to stick with commercial in this case because that's going to give you the detailed premium report. Looks like we have something down in the chat here. Oh, it's Tracy. So we're defaulted on a commercial property, which is a premium Eagleview report. As you can see down here, we're going to have regular rush or regular delivery right now. So since that box was checked, on the this is a complex, it's going to allow you to do something unique to this, to checking that box, is it's going to allow you to drop as many pins as you need, up to 40 pins. Each pin you drop is going to be its own report. So you want to drop these pins on the individual roofs you need. So don't be confused if there's, 25 units under one roof or 2 units under one roof. It's, drop that pin on top of the roof you want, and we're going to measure that entire roof for you and put it into a report, as long as it fits into an image with our airplane imagery. So in this case, I've got 4 buildings pinned here. There's a couple things you'll be able to do here as well as far as customization goes. I highly recommend going through here and customizing these pins. So, as you know, these properties, they may have letters, they may be alphabetical. They could be numeric, where they're 1 through 40. They could be a combination where they're building 1A, 1B, things like that. Match it up to the best of your ability. If you know the buildings and how they're addressed or labeled from the property owner, obviously match that. It's only going to make your life easier for you, for your crews, for your distribution partners when they come to deliver, the roofing material. As a lot of these buildings to them are going to look the same, and they, you don't want to have the wrong roof loaded. So make sure you're labeling. In this case, we're going to say this is building A1. Once you click update, it's going to rename your pin A1 and so forth. Go through here. We'll call this the leasing office, just for training purposes here. So now it's leasing office. You could, go down the line, pool house, exercise facility, or whatever you want to name this, whatever makes it easiest for you. In some cases with these HOAs, there might be individual addresses assigned to these buildings. In that case, you'd want to put that individual address in there. Otherwise, you're just going to have pins labeled 1 through 40 potentially. So once you've labeled these exactly how you want them, you can go down here. Again, we're defaulted on a premium roof report that's going to give you all of the critical measurements that you would need to do an accurate estimate. You have a couple of delivery options here. You could select, we've got the regular delivery, express delivery, which is like a 24-hour option, and then we have the 3-hour option. As many of you loyal Eagleview customers may know, we're delivering reports out right now in record times. I think we're averaging about 6 hours on a report without any expedited delivery. So I would say, unless you absolutely need this thing yesterday, I would not necessarily recommend doing these rushes. If you did, however, if you did a express, you're probably going to get it in a couple hours. And if you did a 3-hour rush, highly likely you'll get it in an hour or less. Basically, you're going to be put to the very front of the line, and ahead of anyone that's not paid for a rush delivery. So again, we're averaging very quick turn times, the fastest we've ever done. Even though you get that automated email once you place your order, thanking you for your order with a timestamp of about 48 hours from whenever you place that order. Ignore that. We're going really fast right now for you guys. So, we're gonna hit next now. So this is the last page before you submit your order. So it's really quick and really easy, much like just ordering a regular residential report on a single home, to place these orders. Quick note on these: when you're doing these complex or multi-structure orders, the multi-structure order tool, this is what we're doing today, essentially is that little box that says it's a complex. That box does not exist on our mobile app. So if you are placing order for a multi-structure or complex like this, you'll want to do it from a laptop or desktop computer through our website. So once we've done this, it's going to give you a summary page here of the address, and the numbers you put on them, or the labels. This instruction box is only for the technicians measuring the reports, so no one will ever see what you put there. With a multi-structure order tool, there's not a whole lot of things you would need to put there because you're essentially pinning anything you're going to want to have measured. Quick note, if you do, when you're pinning these things, if there is a gazebo or a covered mailboxes or something smaller, if it's 15 squares or less, we are not going to charge you in this process. So one for one. So in other words, if you do this, you pin, 5 buildings, essentially we would include, if you pinned, also in addition to your 5 buildings, if you pin 5 really small, less than 15 square structures, you're not going to get charged for those smaller reports, those 15 square or less. Claim field here, what I recommend when you're doing these projects like this is put the name of the complex there. So if it's, the Pine Tree Estates or something, put that there. And that way, whatever you put there is going to show up on all of your reports. It's going to show up in the subject line of the email when we send you the reports, and it's going to show up. It's going to show up in your order history when you're looking through your Eagleview order history. So you're going to know right away. Oh yeah, this is that. This is that complex we're working on, or we bid, last spring or late last year. Obviously, you can copy anyone in your organization or outside your organization on any order you place right here just by adding their email. And that is the process. So if I hit submit here, it's going to submit for those orders. Immediately once you place quickly after you place your orders, within a minute or so, you will get an email thanking you for your order. And it's going to have a link to it. If you clicked on that link, it's going to be a link to your static sitemap. So essentially, a view of everything you pinned when you're ordering those reports. So you'll see, whatever screenshot is of the complex, and you're going to have your anything you put a pin on is going to be mapped out there. So you'll be able to see, where you have your pins. I highly recommend, most folks that are using this process and ordering complexes, have your iPad or your phone handy, or you could print that screen out. Either way, as long as you have access to your email when you go to your property walk, you can just pull up the email with that link in it, click on it, and you can clearly see what buildings are what based on the labels you gave them and whatnot. That is pretty much what I have as a short presentation, but I feel valuable. What type of questions are out there?
At this point, I don't see any questions. Is there anybody that has any questions for Jarrod? Please type them in the chat box. I had no idea it was that easy. I thought it was like a super hard process.
We do like to make it easy. The old process would have been dropping a pin somewhere in the middle of this complex, placing the order, and then you got an email back from our support team saying, hey, we don't know which building you want on this complex. And we would generate a site map, basically go into our image library from our airplane photography, take a screenshot and just put numbers on the buildings and send that to you, and you place the order that way. With this new process called MSO, Multistructure Ordering with Eagleview, it eliminates, several touch points between you and our customer service team, especially when it gets busy. When we're doing, north of 50,000 reports a day, if you've got to get a human being involved in there with extra touch points, it could, slow down your process. So with this allows you to, place the orders on the website, expediting and getting it right to the production team, and getting your orders back to you, in a very timely fashion. So it's definitely a huge improvement on this process, and most customers I speak with, I don't talk to too much after I show them this initially, because they're just ordering away and they have no problem. So
How long
by all means as well. Oh, go ahead.
How long has this been available?
It's been available for about 3 years, I think now. But many folks, if unless you've been watching some of our educational material like this with the RCW, or talk to myself or one of my colleagues, you probably would not know about this process. You just continue to, you'd drop one pin, send it in, it would get caught up by a quality control person. They would respond, hey, do you need the whole complex? Yes. Then they would drop the map, put the numbers on it, send it back to you. A lot of back and forth. So it was not a very good customer experience, for the on complexes. So this much more improved process for contractors and for customer service for everyone really that touches these type of orders.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Jarrod, for sharing this with us, because again, I had no idea, and I bet a lot of our contractors didn't either. This is also, if you need to refresh yourself at any point, this will be available on our YouTube channel in a couple weeks. So you can go back and look if you have to refresh yourself before you make an order. I also wanted to not only thank Jarrod, but I wanted to mention that we have 2 more lunch and learns before we take our hiatus for the summer. And next week, or in 2 weeks, is Jennifer Richards from Safety Matters Training Institute. And then our last one before we take our summer hiatus is with Pete McKendrick and Mike Apollotti from Job Progress. And they're going to share with us some really interesting things that they have going to make their business run smoother. And during the summer, we've got our Salmon Derby coming up, as well as the golf tournament. So there's no lack of fun things and interesting things to do with the RCAW. I'd also like to mention that a lot of you have been reaching out about, COVID and L&I issues. And I'd just like to tell you, please go to our website. There's so much information there for you. And we have just put up some new COVID information that is really timely right now. So please check that out. And I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised with all the discounts and information that's available in the members clubhouse. So with that said, Jarrod, is there anything else that you wanted to?
Yes, two things real quick. It looks like we do have a question in the chat here. Do you get charged again if the address is incorrect? So the answer is no, but you'll want to probably get a hold of myself or Tim Cassette on our team. Tim's the regional manager, helps me support the region. And so either one of us, reach out to us if something like that happens, where there's incorrect. What I would recommend doing is just for speed, if you get the wrong one by accident or something, just turn around and place the correct order right away so that you get that property need. And then just send us, being myself or Tim Cassette, an email with that report number in it, and we'll get that credited back to you. Absolutely, not a problem. Last thing too is, many times when you're working these huge projects, your distributor partner is going to offer you, project pricing. Give us a call if you've got 10 buildings or more. You're not sure you're going to get that job. We want to help you out. So please, get a hold of myself or Tim Cassette, and we'll be happy to help you through that process.
That's awesome. That's good information to know.
Thank you. All right. Any other questions, folks?
Looks like not. Right. So I just want to thank everyone who came into the meeting today, and again, thank Jarrod for doing this and for being on our board of directors. He's just a real big asset to the RCAW, and we really appreciate him.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, everybody, for attending today.
Okay, y'all have a good day. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.